going on, guys? We're live again with another video. It's the dreaded international break. Some people look forward to it, but I don't. Big up, Moss. Hope you're well. Thanks, everyone who's tuned in, whether you're watching on Twitter, also known as X, or whether you're watching on YouTube directly. Guys, I wanted to go live quickly to discuss some injury updates as well as Arsenal players that are not going on international break, which is quite a surprise because some of these players you would think they would go with their respective teams for international duty. But I think it's best for them to rest and recover. And some players who have, whether it's a knee-related issue or muscle tightness, it's good for them to get the rest and recharge during the international break. We have some tough fixtures coming up. Vitalia Stadium, Bournemouth away is not easy for us. We also have Liverpool at home coming up soon and Newcastle away, as well as Inter Milan away in the Champions League. Before that, we have Shakhtar Donetsk at home. I think that's going to be one of the easiest Champions League of our group for the group stages, which will be match day 3 of 8. As you guys know, we did a Southampton match reaction. Arsenal won 3-1, with Bukayo Saka getting 2 goals and 1 assist that day. But more importantly, I was most happy for Gabriel Martinelli getting back on the score sheet in the Premier League, which was very nice to see. Big up to Jack, big up to Jordan. Luca is a clown. He blocked me on YouTube. He's at the Dons game tonight. They're playing Arsenal U21s. At the time, it was 2-2. I'm not sure what the score is currently. Big up to Nippin. Good to see you. Big up to HJ90. Hope you're well. Hope to see you at a game sometime this season. Moss is saying Shakhtar still playing in Poland. No, we're playing in London. That's a home game, Moss. So it'll be at the Emirates. And I heard there's a lot of tickets available on Ticket Exchange for that. But most people who entered the red ballot, you would have won Shakhtar Donetsk ballot. It seems like it was a higher success rate. As you guys know, Havertz withdrew from the Germany squad. He did not go with Germany on international duty. It was reported that he has muscle tightness. However, according to Simon Collins, he said that both Kai Havertz and Thomas Partey are expected to be fit for Arsenal's road trip to Bournemouth once the international break comes to an end. I know there was news that Kai Havertz, as you guys saw, played 90 minutes against Southampton. There was news that he felt something related to his knee. And that we're still waiting for further assessments. I don't think he would have played a full 90 if it was a serious knee injury, but I hope it's something that can be recovered and he gets the rest he needs during this 2 weeks of international football and watching England versus Greece on Thursday night. I think that's at Wembley, so I don't know if I'm going to watch it live, but I'll try to see if I can watch it live if it's not when I'm at work. And of course, the big one, Canada versus Panama. Hi, Michael. Thanks for joining. Shout out to Dylan. Big up to all of you tuned in. I didn't plan on going live, but it's been a while since I did a stream in the weekend. So I wanted to talk about some news updates. There was also information from Ben Jacobs that it's possible Odegaard could be available for Liverpool at home. And as you guys know, Arteta isn't one to trust. Whenever Arteta says players are available or not, you got to question it with a pinch of salt because he wants to keep his cards close, and I don't blame him at all. If Odegaard is back for Liverpool, it means he would make a return sooner than later in terms of his injury. I don't know if you guys are aware, but Mikel Merino just came back from injury and traveled with the Spain national team. He was on the bench and featured against PSG, but I think he's okay now since he traveled on international duty. We just hope that the players that did go on international duty with their respective teams do not get injured on the way back, which is unfortunately what happened with some of the players in the Euros. Like Marino was carrying an injury from the Euros, apparently. You can still pass your medical if you're injured. Tierney passed his medical when we signed him. He was injured, and he's still injured. We were told that Zinchenko is being close to returning, but we don't have an actual return date for him. According to Charles Watts, yesterday he gave an update on the Kai Havertz situation, and he said that it's not one to be overly concerned with. He said the same thing that I said. You know, he played a full 90 minutes against Southampton, and it's just best for him to be monitored if he's feeling something related to his knee. I think they're learning from the Odegaard situation not to let things get worse, and something that could potentially derail our season. Kai Havertz, I think he's up there to get 20 goals this season, and I'm believing in him, and I think he can be the one to do that. Big up to Sugarman. Thanks for tuning in. Hi, Mark. Hope you're well. And big up to Jordan. Thanks, everyone who's watching on Twitter or whether you're watching on YouTube. Big up to you. There was also news that, yes, we heard that Odegaard, it's a possibility he could feature against Liverpool at home. And that's a massive game where we would need him at home. As you guys know, Liverpool at the moment have to play Kelleher in goal with Alisson having an injury related to his hamstring. I wouldn't be surprised if Alisson's back, but a hamstring injury does take time to recover from, depending on, I guess, the grade of injury or how bad the strain is. Thomas Partey, as you guys know, I mentioned early on in the stream that he is staying with Arsenal during the international break. It's not that he was injured. Charles Watts reported that he had a bit of an illness, and he's just going to take rest, and it's a precautionary steps from Arsenal that he's not going to go with Ghana. So that's a big thing for us, because for me, Thomas Partey was just getting into form like the Thomas Partey from Atletico, and I don't want him to get injured on international duty with Ghana. So I'm glad that he's staying behind, and Arteta is really learning from, the dark arts, I guess you should say, these players staying from international duty. And as you can say, dark arts again, ole ole. Arteta's learning fast, and Hope, Marino, and others that went on international duty. We have Calafiori gone with Italy, Marino gone with Spain, Raya with Spain, Hope, whichever of our players, the rest of them that went on international duty will be fine when they come back in 2 weeks' time. Some of you guys dread the international break. I, of course, am a Team England fan, so I do watch them, and I also will be watching Canada, which is my local team. I'm hoping they do well against Panama, the men's team, and I'll be interesting to see the lineup, whoever performs for us, and more importantly, to see how well we set up against Panama. I think that's I like international football. I know some people dread it and can't wait to have Arsenal back, but we have some tough away games on the road coming up soon after Liverpool at home. There are some away games also in the Champions League coming up, with Inter Milan away on the road. I'm looking forward to that game. I was looking at tickets for that game. I'm still waiting for it, hoping that it will drop to red members. I know that's a conversation for another day, but I would love to go to the San Siro, as there's rumors that it might actually be taken down at the moment. And I think that's an incredible stadium to go and see before it's destructed. You guys know Goodison Park is getting destroyed later this year. Everton away, I think that'll be gold dust to get tickets to. I know away games for Arsenal are hard to get tickets to, but Goodison Park this season, especially under the circumstances that their stadium's going to be destroyed, I think that's going to be really hard to get tickets to. And we have some tough fixtures coming up. I'm proud of the way we performed so far this season, and hope we continue at that momentum and pace, or even better. So the only thing I do want to see improvements from is our home form. In terms of defensively, I think we've been a bit poor in terms of our home form. It's been a game of two halves, some of these games where we have to respond after going a goal down. If you guys saw earlier this morning, UK time, there was a video of Martin Odegaard back into training. Slowly, he's resting in terms of recovering, getting his pace back. And Arsenal are now showing step by step his recovery process. I think he will be available for Liverpool, but maybe I don't know if he'll be able to start. I think Arteta is very unpredictable, as you guys know, especially those of you that play FPL. A lot of people thought Trossard would start at the weekend against Southampton, and we saw Partey at right back. There was no available right back, but no one would have thought that when they're doing their squad predictions. Starting 11 predictions. I don't think anyone would have put that one into the equation. Big up to Eugene. Thank you for tuning in. And he says, Levy out. Eugene, you guys were 2-0 up to Brighton. And then all of a sudden it becomes 3-2 and Tottenham are Spursy once again. It was great to watch, very good hate watch. And Postecoglou, he said he wins trophies in his second season, but we'll see what he does, because at the moment it's not looking good for Tottenham on the road. Arsenal, on the other hand, on the road, Arsenal have their away fixtures, tough away fixtures coming up, but I feel like we've been better on the road than we've been at home. Um, I think our performances on the road have spoken for themselves in terms of especially keeping clean sheets on the road for David Raya. David Raya, Havertz, and Saka for me at the start of the season until now have been our three shining stars. But special mention I'm going to give for Urian Timber. He came from injury, and he feels like he came from a big injury and feels like he's just a completely new player, into new signing into this team. As well as Calafiori. I know Calafiori has to work on himself in terms of defensively. I think defensively he's weak, and you've seen that in some home games where he's getting outran or easily ran past. But I think that's just something that's going to improve with the games that he plays and the minutes that he gets. Raheem Sterling, we've seen cameos from Raheem Sterling, whether he's starting or whether he's coming off the bench. We saw him start the game against Southampton. Although he did have a chance or two, I don't think he was as clinical. But I also don't think those chances were clear-cut chances that he tried to set up or people tried to set up for him in terms of our team performances. I'm pretty happy with them. And more importantly, Raya has been really immense this season, and he's finally getting his dues, much needed dues. Big up to Ian. Long time no see. Hope you're well. I hope to see you at a game sometime this season. It'll be nice to catch up. I'm planning to go to Liverpool at home. That's my next game I'm planning to go to. But if Inter Milan drops to red members, I'm still looking at it. It's really tempting. I would love to do another European away. They're just really fun to go to, and it's a whole different experience, European aways, with Arsenal supporters on the road. But again, there's a lot of fixtures coming up, and if Arsenal finish in the top 8 of the Champions League, we don't have to do the playoffs round, and maybe we'll get another team in Italy in the next round, in the round of 16. You never know until the draw is done. I would love to do a European away this season, and hopefully I can get tickets, because last year Bayern, I got lucky to get tickets, Bayern home and away. But the away leg for me was much more enjoyable, going there and the atmosphere. Even though we played really poorly and we lost, I think everything put together, I still had a good time. Regardless of the result, I'll still hope the best for my team and want the best from my team. With that being said, folks, our next game after the international break will be Bournemouth at home. And I did mention earlier in my stream that although currently Partey is dealing with an apparent illness and Kai Havertz is dealing with a knee-related issue, both players will be available for selection for Bournemouth away. Vitality Stadium is no joke to go to. You guys know last season, I believe it was last season, Reece Nelson's winner at Bournemouth. We won 3-2. What a crazy game that was. I think I did a watch along for that game. I remember it really well. And I think we stopped the watch along. We thought it was full time. And then Reece Nelson scores and the stadium went mad. We went mad on camera. It's not an easy ground to go to. And it's these kind of teams that are going to push you and try to give you a run for your money. These are the kind of teams where you have to, be careful playing against. We were 2-0 down to the Cherries at home even. And for Reece Nelson to get that goal for us, we won the game, but we left it late in the game to win. So these are the kind of moments. Even Southampton, that was such a crazy game. Leicester, I went to the Leicester game. In the second half of the Leicester game, the goalkeeper was like prime Buffon. He was making so many saves. I knew we were going to win the game. I didn't think we were going to lose the game. But it was really frustrating because their keeper just kept making save after save after save. He was really, really good. But at the end of the day, Kai Havertz in the 99th minute in additional time gets us 4-2 up against Leicester. So that was a nice game to go to. And then I went to PSG at home. I think I went live after that. Big up to Charlie. Big up to Emerson. Yes, I did see that they were 2-2 drawing with MK Dons in the EFL Cup for the kids. I think that's being played at MK Don Stadium because Luca's at the game and he called me when they were 1-1 draw and then it became 2-2. Tranmere up 1-0. Big up to Jack. I think Tranmere is playing Colchester if I'm not mistaken, and Stevenage have Peterborough. Wasn't that we played badly in either game, to be fair. I don't think we played badly, but it's definitely a game of two halves. And I think defensively we can improve, especially at home. You know, we've been suspect in some moments where our defense switches off. And we just need to be more mindful of that. But you have to give credit to our defensive partnership, Saliba and Gabriel. They've been really immense. Even Calafiori coming into that side. With no actual right back available, with Ben White still being injured, and Timber, we're unsure whether he's still recovering or dealing with an injury. Jesus not performing. I think it's a shot for confidence for Gabriel Jesus. You guys saw the game against Southampton. It wasn't the greatest, and bringing Trossard on, you saw the impact that it makes into the team. Trossard's been on really good form right now, and it's contrary to Jesus at the moment. Jesus is on a downer for confidence, and he's just looking like a shadow of himself that he once was, the player he once was. Hopefully, this international break gives some of these players a time to rest and recharge, especially Saka and Havertz. I know Saka still went with England, so it's not really much of a rest for him because I think the manager will have him playing at right back from what he said in his press conference, or Cole Palmer. It's not really looking good at the moment for England. But I know not all of you support the Three Lions, so I won't talk much about it. Those of you guys that like international football, I hope you guys enjoy this break. It is a break from FPL, and I'm doing really poorly in my FPL right now, but these international friendlies should be all right. Thursday, England's playing, so I'll try to watch that live. I don't think I'll be doing a watch along. I'm not sure if anyone will be doing a watch along for that game, but if they are, and if I'm not working, I'll join it. And it's at Wembley, so I know some people going to the game, they were able to get tickets for the Nations League games. And for me, international duty, I like watching my teams play. Like, you can watch neutrally with opposition players, but I don't know, some people you can't take that rivalry outside of it. And I like watching Team Canada to see how well they're doing, the men's and the ladies' teams. Moss and I, across the pond sports, we do Canada watch alongs. So we might be doing Canada Panama. I haven't heard from Moss yet about it, but if we are, we would schedule it and let you guys know. I am on the road to 9,000 subscribers, which is quite crazy for me to be saying that. I'm really, really glad for all of your support on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube directly, and those of you commenting after watching the video on playback. I really appreciate all of your support. Jack says we have Arrington tonight. Okay, sorry, I thought it was Colchester. I know Colchester are playing tonight. Eugene says I support England. Yeah, me too. I support the Three Lions. I have a Saka kit from the Euros, the purple kit, and I have the kit from the World Cup a few years ago for England. England can be disappointing to watch sometimes, but I still cheer them on, win, lose, or draw. Big up to Jordan. Thanks for joining. I just wanted to go live quickly to talk about the updates in terms of players who did not go for international duty, and also wish my best of luck to the players who went on international duty. I'm quite optimistic that these players will be fine and return from international duty free of injury, please. Arsenal seem to be that team that's always, when injuries happen, like when it rains, it pours. And that seems to be the case with us. But we have some tough away games on the road coming up, and we need all of our players. At the moment, we have no expected return date for Ben White, which is a shame because I feel like he's a really good right back. I think it's Ben White's birthday today, also. So happy birthday to Benny Blanco, one of the best right backs in the league. I say it with chest, and I mean it. It's a shame he's still injured because he would be so influential for us, and we wouldn't have to play players out of their respective positions. But you got to give it to Partey. Partey against Southampton at right back, he was really good. I felt like he was one of the best players on the pitch. Even Trossard, he was really, really good coming on as a substitution. He was really good. If you guys haven't already seen my Southampton review, it will be my last video from today, my most recent video, other than today's one. And I talked about the game. I was frustrated with us being a goal down and then having to respond to it. But at the end of the day, we got the 3 points, and that's what matters overall perspective wise. But I did have some criticisms in terms of how we need to improve, especially defensively at home. I feel like we're a bit suspect. Ian says, I hope Odegaard is back soon. Yeah, he's the glue, and he's the one that gets things ticking and creativity wise in the midfield. I know at the moment we've been doing well without him to some extent, but you can see there's a clear difference, and some players rely on him. I feel like Saka's having to do a lot more work now that Odegaard's not there. He's having to cover a lot more ground. And I hope Saka will beat the Premier League assist record. It'll be incredible if he's able to beat that this season for the most assists in the Premier League. Yes, if you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat. I will be live for a preview for Bournemouth next week. It's too early to do a preview now for Bournemouth. I don't know any Bournemouth fans, but it would be good to do an opposition preview. Maybe I'll look into finding a Bournemouth fan, but if not, I'll be doing the preview by myself or with some guests, whoever wants to join me, Arsenal fans. Just contact me on Twitter. My Twitter is Miss Melina, same like my YouTube handle. All my social media is the same. And we'll be live for the Bournemouth watch along next weekend in combination with Moss's channel across the pond, Sports Talk, Moss Sports World. Big up to Moss on the road to 2,000 subscribers. Doing weekly content, weekly live streams. Even NHL and NBA is back this month. So we'll try to cover different sports. I know I did Raptors content last season. I do Raptors faces nowadays, but it's kind of hard to keep up with everything live streaming wise and work. So just trying to balance it out. I'm not a full-time YouTuber, as you guys know, but it's good to be live again and talking about Arsenal with you guys. But with that being said, guys, thanks everyone for tuning in today. This was just a quick stream to give some updates in terms of injuries, as well as some concerns that may have been around with some players like Thomas Partey, why he's not gone to Ghana. Tomiyasu also was not called for Japan. My understanding of this was I was told that possibly when they made the Japan squad, they assumed Tomiyasu was still injured, yet he featured against Southampton. Which is no problem for me because, as you guys know, Tomiyasu is made out of glass. So it's best to keep him at the Emirates where he can recharge before we have some tough away fixtures on the road. Guys, if you aren't already joined in my FPL league, I will provide the code. I'm just going to pull it up now. My league code for fantasy has over 1,700 people in it. It's very competitive. And one of my friends, he supports Liverpool, Chris Nix. He's in the top 5 of my league, which is very hard to do. So big up to Chris. I got to get some FPL tips from you because I think I'm even like 600 or something in my league. In my own league, it's quite embarrassing. But if you guys want to join my fantasy league, if you're interested, you can still join. You'll be added to the next game week. And the code to join my league is FR8. GRO. That's FR8GRO. The top 2 winners of my league will win a £10 voucher of their choice or in the currency of the country they're from. Good luck to everyone. And it's just something fun and competitive, especially with those of you that watch the Premier League anyway. I'm not doing Champions League fantasy. I think I'm already terrible at regular fantasy. I didn't do no Champions League fantasy. I tried to do the Euros one before and it was a disaster. I think I quit after game week 2. So for me to still be doing Premier League fantasy, it shows some dedication here and commitment. But I'm really poor in my leagues that I'm in. So if you guys want to participate and join, feel free. It's open to anyone who watches my channel. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I am going to wrap up the stream now. So let me go ahead and cue the outro. Thanks everyone for watching, and we're out of here. If you guys haven't already seen my previous videos, you can click the button over here or over here, wherever it appears on your screen. See my previous videos. Give my channel a subscribe if you're new and haven't already. I'd greatly appreciate it. No spamming links from me and no begging for viewers, unlike certain other channels. But I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in, whether you're watching on Twitter or watching live on YouTube. If you're watching this on the replay, please let me know what you think of the international break. And if you enjoy watching international football, that's my question for you guys after the stream. Take care, everyone, and have a good rest of your evening. Adios.